Hello, dear friends. Welcome to the very first episode of Black to the Drawing Board, where we break down realities of architecture, education, and design from the vantage point of those who live at its margins. Lead it with clarity and build it with purpose. I am Dea Irene Taylor, architect, educator, and chairperson of the Department of Architecture at a proud HBCU. And today we're about to talk about something that is not only urgent, it is foundational to justice in our profession. Today's episode, Designing Justice, what new loan caps mean for Black architecture students. So let's talk about it. Picture this, a gifted high school senior with a portfolio full of promise, a student who sketches entire worlds in their notebook, a student who wants to use architecture to strengthen Black communities, not just design buildings, but design futures. And then, before they apply, they learn that the federal government has decided architecture is not a professional degree worthy of the same loan support as medicine, law, dentistry, or pharmacy. They learn that the nation we live in has said, you can protect the public through the built environment, but you don't qualify for professional level financial aid. That is the contradiction we are facing. That is the barrier our students must now climb. And that is why we must go Black to the drawing board, because the playing field was never level. And the newest policies widen the gap that we've spent decades narrowing. Recently, the federal government changed how it classifies graduate professional degrees. Architecture was removed from the category that allows students to borrow at the higher professional federal loan limit. Let me say it another way. The field that designs hospitals, schools, housing, and infrastructure, the field that literally is responsible for the health, safety, and welfare of the public, has been placed in the same financial category as any general graduate program, despite having licensure requirements that demand years of education, experience, and past examinations. Our work is treated as essential when it comes to responsibility, liability, accountability, but optional when it comes to access and affordability. And if you know anything about this nation's history, you know already that policy is never neutral. It always lands somewhere. And it lands hardest on Black students, Black families, and Black institutions. Now here's why it hits a little differently at HBCUs. At HBCUs, we're already doing the heavy lifting of diversifying this profession that was not built with us in mind. We educate the dreamers who have the audacity to imagine a built environment that protects Black life while they still are navigating structural barriers that most people never have to consider. Our students are often first generation, financially independent, caregivers in their family, working one and oftentimes two jobs, and holding the weight of generational expectations. And now they're being told that they should take on private loans with higher interest rates or simply walk away from architecture altogether. This is not a financial decision. It is a cultural decision. It is a political decision. And it is a design justice issue. Because if you control who can afford to become an architect, you control who gets to shape the built environment. You control who gets to design the cities, neighborhoods, and spaces that determine whether our communities flourish or fail. You control the future. And I want to be very clear, architecture is a profession. It is one of the few fields in this country where licensure is tied directly to protection of human life. And yet, in 2025, we are witnessing a coordinated attempt to shrink professions that have the most power to transform in equitable systems, architecture included. Whether intentional or not, the effect is the same. The light of our students, the brilliance that they bring, is being doused with political extinguishment. But let me tell you about something about Black light. It glows in the dark. It glows under pressure. It glows through obstacles. And it glows even when people try to dim it. And that's why HBCU architecture programs must continue to exist, continue to lead, continue to speak, because if we do not defend the right of Black and brown students to become architects, then we are accepting a future where the built environment continues to be designed by only a narrow slice of America. And that future is unacceptable. This is exactly why Black to the Drawing Board exists, because the nation needs to understand that every time we pull resources away from architecture education, we are pulling resources away from public safety, from cultural continuity, from climate resilience, and from community well-being as a whole. This is not just about debt. This is about justice. This is about representation. This is about truth. At HBCUs, we are not only teaching architecture, we are designing justice one student at a time. We are creating architects who can listen to communities, honor tradition, challenge systems, and draw from ancestral knowledge to innovate the future. We are producing professionals who understand environmental justice, cultural landscapes, and what it means to design for people who have been historically ignored in planning conversations. We are doing the work that America still refuses to fully value, and yet we do it anyway because our students matter, our stories matter, our buildings matter, and our future matters. So as you engage with this platform, understand this. We go Black to the drawing board not to start over, but to start correctly, to design a future where our students are not priced out of their purpose, where architecture reflects the full spectrum of American experience, where justice is built, not just spoken, and where our light is allowed to shine without interference, intimidation, or extinguishment. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. And thank you for believing that design is a pathway to justice. Until next time, keep building, keep rising, and as always, glow in the dark and shine in the light.